we're seeing in this photograph is one of those mass spectacles that the Nazis created. This was a Thanksgiving harvest fest that was staged in this one, rural community. And this became kind of an annual affair. And hundreds of thousands of people turned out for this, some in traditional dress. But all of it was done to create this kind of atmosphere of all Germans united around the people. That is, this is kind of this bonding experience. Actually, in the first things I saw, this was color footage that was taken of this in the 1930s. And it was very impressive in terms of, just seeing the enormity of these crowds, the kind of enthusiasm that was there, the kind of pageantry that was there, and also the creation of these kind of new holidays. These weren't traditional German holidays. These were something the Nazis created on the calendar as part of their kind of propaganda for the new regime. And so for me, I thought this really spoke to the ways in which the Nazis staged events, but also the kind of enthusiasm that crowds brought to this. And this is something the Nazis promoted very much in their propaganda. That is, that they were creating a national community, a Volksgemeinschaft, that would bring all Germans, all ethnic Germans, together. That is, Germans regardless of whether they were Protestant or Catholic, or whether they came from Prussia or Bavaria or Saxony or some other place, or whether they were, a worker or an aristocrat. That it was the Nazi regime that was building this unity, that they were bringing Germans together, and that democracy had splintered people into various parties and got them to think of these small units, but it was the Nazi party that was bringing them all together. And of course you see this kind of, and there was a real kind of appeal for this among many Germans. And so you had these events that were, staged, and there was all kinds of pageantry there, and people came out for these things, and, the Nazis in turn used this as propaganda to say, this is real. We're creating, this is the new Germany. But it's often what you don't see that's important. That is, you don't see the people that are not part of that community, the people that are deemed to be outside of that, whether those are Jews or whether those are political opponents, whether those are people with disabilities, whether those are Roma and Senti, the so-called gypsies, whether that's, homosexuals. That these are all people that are excluded from being part of that based on either race, biology, or behavior. And so I think what the Nazis did is they created this alluring and seductive myth of a national community that never existed. But it was served as a very important propaganda vehicle.